Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another video. It's an early morning and we're here. I thought I'd give us an update on the weed smokers' den. Here we are, everybody. They're keeping it pretty tidy, really. Lots of fire activity. That's a very responsible fire pit there. I'm not sure about this dried wood at the edge, but they've put bricks around it. They've got a shopping trolley now. We've got some firelighters here, dude. Buddy's having a sniff around. Come away from that glass, you dude. Might have been plucking a pigeon. No evidence of harder drug use going on yet, dude, so we're okay. I don't mind them. They're okay, as things go around here. On one of my recent SJJ Open Lines shows with Marco Coletti Spaghetti, I had a look at the brand new Woes documentary about Millennial Woes, and one of the things that struck me about it, which I'd never really known about Woes before, was the impact that ending up on welfare had upon him. The debilitating impact that being on welfare had upon him. I think he was on it for 10 years or more. It's a rotten thing, isn't it? This unemployment benefit. How do we get out of it? How do we do something better? I'm not a brute, dude. So in my opinion, I think a state should have social welfare built into it. Call me a cook. But I'm not that kind of right-winger. I'm not that kind of brute. Not that kind of hard man. If recent times haven't taught you or shown you anything about just how anybody can suddenly fall out of work, they may have a family to support and they're suddenly out of work, and these people are losing their jobs. Suddenly, the idea of an unemployment benefit is to tide them over until they find another job. But it often, very often, becomes something else. And that's because it's such a meagre thing. It's such a debasing thing. It immediately tars you with a low ebb of energy. It saps you of your worth, makes you feel worthless, and you quickly enter into a spiral of collecting your government benefit once a week, and in many cases, because it is just enough to subsist on, you enter the subsistence lifestyle. And this really can become a lifestyle. And Millennial Woes speaks about this in this new documentary. I must admit, I've not watched it all, so I think it's probably not a positive documentary, but I don't know. I don't think it's official, so the guy's collected lots of his clips and arranged them and then does some narrating over the top. But one of the first things is Woes ruminating on the fact that he'd been on welfare and 10 years had gone by like that. Boom. And this made him feel depressed, lonely, alone, worthless, low status, a leech on society, basically. And that's because that's what you are. when you're on the welfare then?
After graduating, I fell into depression, clinical depression, and eventually had a sort of nervous breakdown. And I went on the Dole. The state looked after you. It had infinite resources. It could just keep pouring money into you. And I told myself it wasn't going to be forever. I told myself it would just be a short-term thing. I'll just be on the Dole for 2 or 3 weeks. But it wasn't. And so, I know firsthand what being on welfare does to someone who is intelligent, who was confident, who has a lot to give, who is capable, who is talented. I've got this talent. It's not saved you from this, is it? I deserve to be happy. No, why do you deserve to be happy? You haven't earned it. I have to achieve something in my life. Why do you have to achieve anything? Why? Why bother? It's hard. Wouldn't it be easier just to stay in bed? Of course it would. Put the covers on, stay in bed, hide from everything. You're just one among millions. You're nothing. Nobody would even notice if you weren't here. It's not supposed to teach you a lesson. What it's supposed to do is kill you. Welfare can completely destroy you.
On my fitness channel on Telegram today, I shared the thought that I've often bobbed around in my head like a tennis racket and a tennis ball, that I'd replace it with something like a universal gym credit, where for like 16 hours of recorded gym time per week, anybody in the society, anybody, regardless of employment status, it wouldn't be means tested, just anybody who puts in 16 hours of recorded gym time per week would get the same money. And then people who are working, they can get it if they put in 16 hours after their work time. It's obviously not easy, but a lot of people in the country do it, dude. It'd be an incentive to everybody in the country to get fit and healthy. And if you lose your job, you can still collect your gym credit with all the free time you've suddenly got available, and you wouldn't feel like a worthless bastard. You wouldn't enter the spiral of welfare and the sedentary lifestyle. You're forced to get out of the house, but it's not forced labour. It's something that has been available to you. Hopefully, you'd been collecting it the whole time. You'd been using the incentive of the extra money to go and put in 16 hours at the gym a week. We could negotiate on the hours. But if you suddenly ended up out of work, at least you could collect that, and you wouldn't feel like a scrounger, because it's not a benefit for being a scrounger. And I shared this on my Telegram channel today, so I've often wondered how such a thing like that's a possible answer to this problem of employment benefit for nothing. And to anybody who says you can't, to anybody who says that's like a heartless idea, or that's like requiring labour, get a grip. Spare the rod, spoil the child, is what I want to say to you. People need incentives. Human beings need incentives. People often think that right-wingers, whatever you want to call us, are just hard, heartless bastards. When you want to take away welfare and things like that, you want to make people get out and earn their money or starve. I heard Jeff Garriepi the other day say that in his libertarian utopia, there would be no welfare whatsoever. because starvation is a very strong motivating factor, but I can't go that far. Often what you'll hear in right-wing circles are very based takes like this. Zero welfare, zero money that you've never earned yourself. And it's easy, like George from the Meth Squad said the other day, it's easy to be based. But let's try to be based in reality. Yes, George, I'm propagating your meme, dude. You can send the shekels to Stephen James at UN/NATO. Okay? So call me a cook if you want to. But I believe that in a decent society, in a civilization of plenty, we can have something that can tide people over when they fall out of work. But more than that, I think a real transformation to society would be a universal gym credit, dude. Everybody's eligible for 16 hours per week. We can negotiate on the hours, but I think 16 hours is a good number to make it tricky for most people, but doable for those who want to get super fit, as well as working 40 hours a week, but easily accomplishable for somebody who's just fallen out of work, and give them enough time to be able to find another job and keep them active, busy, keep them going out of the house, keep them meeting people, keep them mixing with fit and healthy people instead of their television, their Pringles box, their Xbox, their PlayStation 10, whatever, or druggies, alcoholics, the local wine shop, liquor shop. So that's my proposal. Universal gym credit to replace unemployment benefit, and we'd pay for it by all the red tape we'd save through the means testing, the job centre malarkey. We'd just put the jobs on the internet and we'd pay for it through that. That's how we're going to pay for it. I've costed it out, dude. It's fully costed proposal here. Everybody in the country can have it, dude. Alright everybody, that's been my ramble for this morning. Here he comes. Later, dudes.